All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final game of the first qualification round here of the Verizon Warriors series as we bring you the rubber game of this match between Hateful Eight here spawning in the green on the north and the Flying Philosophers, that is 1S spawning to the south. Looking over the Hateful Eight lineup, we have a Kaga of Vladivostok, quadruple Prinz Eugen Zav. I hear Deutschland über alles kind of ringing in the distance, fronted by Addy in a single low Yang. Talk to me about the 1S lineup.
Well, the Flying Philosophers are choosing to bring quadruple Atago to the quadruple Prince Eugen, so that's interesting. They've got a Shokaku, an Alabama for the battleship, and a Le Terrible as a destroyer. It's interesting the choice of the Le Terrible because the Lu Yang, of course, is really good for locking down a cap with Hydro and all that. So if you're going to take a Le Terrible, in my opinion, you're going to send it on the off cap. But Flying Philosophers are doing the opposite. They're sending it to A right now.
This is going to be a really interesting game, Zath. We're looking at the Kriegsmarine versus the Imperial Japanese Navy when it comes to these cruiser lineups, right? A little axis on axis action here. I'm going to be very curious to see which Axis Navy comes out on top.
Now keep in mind, both teams, both of those cruisers have heals, so
yes.
Eugen and Atago have that extra staying power that you get from that, but they lack radar. So the only ship that has a special vision capability really is going to be the Lo Yang for the Hateful Eight, aside from the carriers.
Right. That's right. Addy's Lo Yang is going to be a pretty pivotal ship in this match, simply because, as Zath pointed out, there is no radar, which is plenty of radar in abundance at Tier 8. All the teams just opting not to take any of it.
Look at this lemming train that's forming here by Hateful Eight. Oh my goodness, all of them on the sea line. And they're just going to swing down. I think they're hoping that Addy can hold the cap a little bit?
They've sent Addy completely by himself to the A cap, which might work for a while, but the carrier is going to harass him just endlessly. It looks like what they're doing with the Eugens is they're going to shove two Eugens in the Vladivostok down this island chain on the 7 line, and then swing the other two Eugens wide and maybe bring them down the 9 line. I think that's what's happening.
That's how it's looking to form, which can work, but you also bottle yourself up quite heavily in that channel against Atagos that are famously good at kiting away.
I gotta say, Zap, I really don't like Addy being over here at the A cap by himself, right? With a carrier in the game, if it's just Addy and no carrier, he could make this work. But with the carrier in the game, and you're looking at a Littori backed up by a single Atago, he can be in a whole lot of trouble very quickly.
Oh, 100%, yes. This strategy for Flying Philosophers is actually going to work out in their favor simply because of what Hateful Eight has decided to do with their deployment.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I maybe they can make it work, but I have serious questions. I have serious doubts that this is going to work out.
I have so many questions.
I have so many questions. And right there, you see it looks like Addy coming under range of the Atago Hydro. That's exactly what's happened. Yeah. The Atago's got him locked up on Hydro, and they're going to lose him. There's no way he can win this gunfight at point-blank range. The best he can hope for would be to dump some torpedoes in the Atago's face and maybe take him with it. But he better do it quick. There they go.
There they go. Yep.
Nope, just the one rack out. And he doesn't land a single torpedo.
Yeah, he had an opportunity to turn away and get to a kiting position. He didn't take it. I think that's ultimately what got him killed right there.
Yeah, I agree. But I feel like strategically, that is a horrible choice by Hateful Eight because they literally just hung one of their teammates out to dry, right? They just left him over there to die, and
yes, and they've also now surrendered the flank as a result, which means that this group of 3 ships that are in E7 and F7, they're just going to get flanking fire from the Atago and Terrible.
Yeah, now those guys are basically caught between 2 sets of guns right in the middle of the map, and the Eugens on the 9 line are not really in a position to help very much. Maybe in another minute or 2, but not for a while. It's going to be a lonely few minutes as Loki's Vladivostok just got slapped pretty hard right there.
That was a Bama shot coming in from Arch Zero, looked like.
Yep.
It should be noted, though, that over at A, the Atago has been forced back due to the Kaga's continual strikes on him. Loki taking some, was that torps?
Yeah, he took 2 torps in the bow, 2
Yeah.
Shokaka torps in the bow. He's flooding and burning. Probably desperately hoping his damage control will come back up in time to save him, but I doesn't look good right now. Under
Remember, guys,
4K, continuing to fall.
this is training room, so Kuznetsov doesn't proc his what, will to victory will not proc. So
Down 2 ships
there he
in
goes.
basically just a touch over 5 minutes here. Yikes.
And look at this now. The late terrible is like, well, fine.
Yeah.
I'll just go take this cap.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, Zaf, here's the thing, and we talked a little bit about this in the last game with the French destroyers, right? Don't be shocked if we see more of this over the course of the day. Because the days of a carrier being able to take his rocket strikes and slowly, eventually, like, wipe out a destroyer unaided, those days are over in World of Warships, right? So, I just don't see, I mean, yeah, especially a Kaga. Kaga not known for its rockets already, and now he's in a gunfight with a Le Terrible. This is going to end horrible.
Yep. And he's not even. It's hard to tell where he's taking his torpedo bombers. I think there come the dive bombers. That's what he needs.
Yeah, now that gives him a chance.
The Kaga does also have really good secondaries if he can get close enough to the Le Terrible and not get torpedoed in the process.
It's the trick, right? Kaga
which
also
would be awesome to watch.
Indeed. That was a good bomb hit. Kago also has basically what amounts to battle cruiser levels of armor on her hull, so the AP is not going to land big citadels. He's probably landing full pen, but he's not. This is not a Ranger or a Lexington that you can citadel off the board with the right AP armament.
That's right. Now I love seeing some Prince Eugen shells coming in to support his teammate Legionnaire.
Yeah, it still feels like it's just too late. The Kaga's secondaries are starting to pop off.
There's the secondaries. Oh my god, this is great.
Is able to, looks like Legionnaire is going to dodge this first salvo of torpedoes. There's some more. Oh, finally getting some help from Halstead's Prince Eugen to the south.
Yep.
While all this is going on, the Tarib is still capping B. They're almost, they're 450 points down, Zaf.
Yeah, Legionnaire's getting some resets though, and there he goes. The Terrible's out of B. He smells blood. He wants the blood.
Yeah. But here come the torpedoes. Legionnaire knows it now.
That's right.
Already starting the turn, but it's not gonna. He's gonna dodge the first set, but not the second.
Great dodge of the first set.
Indeed.
Yep. Not enough.
3 quick kills. There's 4. I was just about to say Playboy very low in the middle of the board, and there he goes. Wow. This is going to be an 8-minute clean sweep, Zaf.
Yep. Yep. What a quick game.
Yeah, indeed. I really liked the looks of these lineups going in, but yikes, that just fell apart very quickly. And I still come back to me, Zaf, at the end of the day, it's all about that strategic choice to send like the giant lemming train through the islands and leave your lone destroyer by himself against an aircraft carrier in the ACAP. I cannot endorse this strategic choice, ladies and gentlemen. Just that it didn't work out for anybody, you know? Well, it worked out for the philosophers, of course, but certainly not for the Hateful Eight.
Oh, absolutely. And I think part of that is, isn't the Eugen a bit slower than the Atago?
Very much so. Eugen is among the slower cruisers at Tier 8. I think 32, maybe 32 and a half knots, right? The Hipper class hulls are not known for their speed. They're known for their resilience and how hard they are to get off the board, and I'd say above average AA, and of course that German Hydro, but they're not getting anywhere quick. Whereas the Japanese heavy cruisers, much faster, most of them clocking in at 30, 35 plus knots.
Right. So sending 2 of them off to the 910 line is basically telling the rest of the team, you're going to have to take a 5-minute break before we can get into action.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have done that. Definitely would not.